and welcome back to the podcast. Today, wherever you are, driving, walking, sitting with your coffee, I just want you to take a deep breath in and a slow exhale out. Because today, we are not rushing, we are not forcing, we are resetting. It's time for a spring reset. So let's talk about spring energy. There's just something about spring, right? You can feel it in the air. The light just hits differently. The temperatures start to warm up. Your body feels a little bit more awake and a little bit more open. And it's like life is gently whispering, you get to begin again. Not because you messed everything up, not because, you're not perfect or, you haven't done right in the past, not because you're behind, but because you're ready. It's so exciting. I love spring. It was my grandmother's favorite season. She was born on April Fool's Day during the Great Depression, and she always said, and honey, I've been lucky ever since. But seriously, I've been feeling this lately. I had this moment the other day where I just stopped and thought, wow, I'm actually becoming the woman I said I wanted to be. Not perfectly, not all at once, but in the smallest, most powerful ways. It's just so interesting how spring can give us this new mindset and the ability to reset our lives. So one of the ways that I did this is I woke up early, and instead of hitting snooze, I got up and started going to the gym. Now, I'm someone that's worked out every day since I was 18, but I've never been a morning workout person. I used to laugh at the people that say, they're part of the 5 a.m. club, or they're getting up at 6 a.m. or even 7 to go to the gym, right? But I just made the decision that I wanted to get up in the morning and start my day with movement because it's so important to me. And I love to move my body, and I thought it might help with my focus, and it definitely did. It just made me feel so good to move and to start my day with movement. But what really made me feel good is that I kept that promise to myself, that I followed through. And then I started following through on my admin and my work, and I started spending more time with my family. I started taking better care of myself, and I just felt this deep sense of pride. Like, I trust myself. And if you've ever struggled with keeping promises to yourself, right? When you know. And you know how powerful that feeling is when you start to keep little promises to yourself. Send the email, make the call. It's not about doing everything. It's about becoming someone that you can rely on. And here's the psychology behind that and why it's so interesting that we feel this reset with spring, right? And we get this new opportunity and this new chance, that urge to clean things up, to start fresh, to move your body, to try again whatever goals that you were trying to create in the first place. That's not random. It's called the fresh start effect. And your brain literally uses seasons as a reset point. More sunlight equals better mood. New environment equals new perspective. So your brain goes, hey, we can try again. We can start over. We can do the thing. We can be someone different now. Or maybe we can level up now. Or we can do that thing we've been putting off, like starting the book, starting the exercise, starting the new job or the job search, or starting that business. It's so exciting. And so let's talk about identity shifts. Since we're in the middle of spring and it's just such a, time of rebirth, such a time of resets, such a time of beauty and new beginnings. And here's the truth. Our lives don't change by forcing ourselves, right? Or someone else forcing us to do something. We change our lives by deciding, this is who I am now, which is called identity transformation. This is who I am now. Not someday, not when everything is perfect, right now. This is who I am now. I spent 10 minutes moving my body. Right now. This is who I am now. And then you move 10 minutes tomorrow and 10 minutes the next day. And what happens? Your identity now is someone who moves. So let's make this real and do some actionable steps. If you're listening to this and you're like, I want that. I want to feel like her. I want to feel like I'm someone that I can be proud of. Then here's what you do to start. Decide who you are this season. Ask yourself, who do I want to become this spring? Do I want to become a woman who moves her body? Do I want to become a woman with better boundaries, who loves herself more, who takes better care of herself, who is better to her children or her partner, or who does better at school? Who do I want to become? Now, what are you doing? What are you doing when you are this person? Who are you being when you are this person? Just what does your day-to-day life look like? For example, I'm a woman who keeps promises to herself. I am a woman who enjoys her life. I am a woman who enjoys her classes, enjoys her children, enjoys her grandchildren. I'm a woman who moves her body because it feels good. I'm a woman who shares my cooking skills or my speaking skills or my makeup skills because it feels good. So, next, pick one non-negotiable. So you figured out who you're being when you're this dream person. Now, not 10 things, not a full overhaul, life overhaul, but choose one thing. Move your body for 10 minutes. Drink your water. Go outside every day. Start sharing your cooking advice with someone. Start sharing your passions with someone. That is how identity is built. Start taking a bath or a shower. Start getting dressed to your shoes. Make life feel good again. We're not here to suffer through life. And I'm a Christian that was taught that growing up and used to really believe that, right? But we're not here to suffer through life. We're here to experience it, to dance in the kitchen, to open the windows, to take a walk just to feel the air on our skin, to enjoy God's creation. You don't need a vacation to feel alive. You can do it right now today. Gently shift your thoughts. When old patterns come, like I'm not worth it, or I'm ugly, or I'm not smart, whatever it is, instead of judging yourself, just say, or getting mad, I never keep promises to myself, I always quit. That was you then. This is me now. Do not judge your past self. Do not judge your mistakes. That was me then. This is me now. No shame, no guilt, just growth. So let's say you're drinking water, you're eating healthy, and you have that Reese's peanut butter cup, or you pig out on brownies. So what? It's identity transformation is not easy. Rome wasn't built in a day. I went back to my old self for a minute. Now I'm back to my new self. The brownies were delicious. Let's go back to I'm a person that eats healthy and makes healthy choices. And guess what? Eating one brownie is not that bad of a choice anyway. It's eating the whole pan that gets us, right? And as women, we do this to ourselves, don't we? We beat ourselves up constantly. It is very difficult for us to say, hey, wow, I'm being a great mom. Or I made an A and I'm amazing. Like in the Barbie movie, when they show the girls and they're complimenting each other, and instead of saying, no, it was somebody else, or, and being all humble, they say, yes, thank you. That was me. I am amazing. Really? That is how we should be more like that. And I'm not saying to be so egotistical and full of yourself, but most of us are so down on ourselves that if we start accepting compliments, practicing receiving, practicing positive self-talk, we're not going to be egotistical maniacs, right? We're just going to start living at a higher level. So let's start by loving yourself. Start by making those small choices, speaking kindly to yourself, embodying the person that you want to be. So, identity transformation. The first thing we do is say, I am a fit person, or I am someone who moves their body. We might not want to go to saying affirmations and thoughts and saying out loud, I am a person that works out every single day for an hour, if we're somebody that's never worked out in our life, right? Because that may be disconnected in our brains, right? So we want to say something that we can actually believe, that we can actually get on board with. So saying I'm someone who moves my body every day, that's something that you can get behind, right? Or saying something like, I'm someone who stops eating, and I borrowed this from Tanya Lee, when I'm elegantly satisfied. Or saying something like, I am someone who does what she says she's going to do. I am someone who sets small boundaries. I am someone that's learning to say no. I am someone that's learning not to care so much what other people think. Just anything that you're wanting to accomplish, you break it down. You see what you want. So let's just, for example, say, I see what I want is to be at a healthy weight, okay? So you break that down. I am someone, what do you need to do to achieve a healthy weight? Who do you need to be to achieve a healthy weight? You need to be someone that moves their body every day. You need to be someone that makes healthy choices in their eating, right? Or maybe slows down and enjoys their food so they don't overeat. So now how can you reverse engineer that and say some affirmations and start thinking like someone that does that, then making small promises to yourself? So that's why I always use the example of move for 10 minutes a day, or even 5. Because if you say I'm a woman who moves my body every day, and you start moving 5 to 10 minutes a day, you're like, oh wow, I did that. I moved for 5 or 10 minutes, whatever it is. And then the next day you do it, and then the next day you do it, and then the next day you do it. Not only are you moving your body and you're getting closer towards your goals, and eventually that 10 minutes will turn into longer just because that's the way life works and our brains work. But not only will that make you feel good because you moved your body, release endorphins, help you to get healthier, but it builds your confidence because you start keeping promises to yourself. And keeping promises to yourself, saying you're going to move for 10 minutes and then doing it, is one of the most powerful ways to build your confidence for a woman. Then you start saying, hey, I can do that. If I can do that, I can do this. I can do the other. And before you know it, you're achieving your dreams. And you're leveling up more than you ever thought was possible. And it all started with this one little tiny thought that led to this one little tiny action. And that little tiny action led to this enormous confidence boost that made you feel like all things were possible and that you could trust yourself and that you would do what you say you're going to do. You have got this, baby girl. Okay, next actionable strategy to move forward and to keep this going for your spring reset. Take one bold action. Speak up in a meeting. Speak up in class. Send the message. Post the video. Sign up for that thing that you've been wanting to do forever or learn forever. Show up. Just show up. Spring energy loves movement. Now let's do some journal prompts to really solidify this and get this in our mind, heart, and souls. And I want you to take these with you, maybe tonight, maybe this week, maybe think about it right now while you're driving home from school or work or while you're walking. What version of me am I ready to release? For me, this was the version that says I'm not enough. I'm unworthy. That was the negative voice that plays in my head. And that's the version of me I was ready to release. And I continue to release. It's been an ongoing journey. Who am I becoming right now? Who are you becoming right now? Who are you becoming? A woman who moves her body? A woman who makes healthy choices? A woman who shares her gifts? Who am I becoming right now? Next journal prompt. What would my dream life feel like? What would my dream life feel like? Write it down. Say it out loud. Think about it. Voice note it on your phone. And how can I get one piece of that today? One piece of that today. Next, where can I choose myself more? Where can I choose myself more? Is that getting your hair done? Is that taking a 15-minute bath? Is that putting your schoolwork down or putting the baby in the bouncy seat and taking a hot shower? What is it that you can do? Is it putting the work down that you feel like you're always behind on for a moment and getting a massage? What is it that you can do right now? Is it stepping outside and taking a walk, smelling the air, listening to your favorite songs, lighting the candle? What is it that you can do to take care of yourself right now and in the future? Next, what can you do to trust yourself more fully? Remember, the way we trust ourselves more is by making small, achievable promises to ourselves. When I started working out in the mornings, it wasn't like, oh, I just went from not working out at all to working out every morning. I was already working out every day. I just changed the time that I worked out to the mornings. And I can still do some at night too if I want, but little promises. Take something you already do, like you already eat breakfast or lunch at this time, and add an extra glass of water in. Just something small. I'm going to start sending the emails as soon as I get them. Something like that. Just anything that you can do, a small promise to keep to yourself. I'm going to get up at this time in the morning. You know, if you get up at 10, don't say I'm going to get up at 6. Make it where you can achieve it, okay? I want you to hear this. You do not have to hit rock bottom to rise. You do not have to hit rock bottom to rise. You don't need everything to fall apart to start over. Sometimes all you need is a moment, a season, a feeling that says, let's do this differently this time. You're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience. You're starting from growth, from becoming. Okay? The fun fact, your muscles have memory. So let's say you used to be fit and then you stopped exercising and gained 30 pounds. When you start back, you didn't lose everything because you're going to get in shape faster because you did it before. It's the same way with your knowledge, because our muscles, our minds have memory. So you're not just starting from scratch. And I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you for being here, for wanting more, for choosing yourself, for taking the time to listen to this podcast about improvement. If this spoke to you, share it with someone who needs it. Listen to it again. Come hang out with me. There's so much more coming. Go to CoachHeatherOwens.com for freebies on movement, mindset, and adventure. I love you. I'm here for you. I'm rooting for you.
Could see that you're good enough. Try to believe that you're good enough.